Welcome back, everyone, to the Drink and Drum podcast, the podcast with all the vibes. I am one of three hosts. My name is Timon Nicholas, aka Mr. Terrible.
Signing in, Jaron Tomlinson, the young sheller, aka Pineapple Badman in the building. Wagwan.
And it's your boy, Everon Williams, aka Big Easy. You don't know Wagwan.
This is the unapologetic podcast with really good intentions. The socials, them located at the bottom of this podcast right there. So make sure you hit us up and tell us what going on.
Where would it do? Like, how she get exposed to having dildos and, you know what I mean, don't deal with
plenty of porn.
So much of money.
Porn.
at such young age, you know what I mean?
A porn and girl there she classroom. Remember when you taught to crunch sleep on abortion, she taught about whipped cream or she could do to your dick. And just some wild girl all of a sudden. I remember when I first went to Adventist school, no, everybody they listened to Cartel and Mavado and all them Jamaican artists. They said that, you know.
Ramping shot.
Yeah, and then the yam pussy now came sudden. But the man there from former village used to have chat about how them eat woman out. So in the film head misses something now, something right? Mm-hmm. So then girl over there say, yeah, no man, you know, the yam pum pussy. I mean it's so dick. And me say scene and a couple girl me talk to me tell her, yeah no, you suck your wife man. She like, you got some pussy. Right, I'm saying just cool. I ain't never tell nobody. Right? And then about a year or two after them, I start hearing girls say, yeah, I'm sucking dick boy. I'm say, what? But then time they deal with boss man and so me say, and then boss man a broke out then the little girl, right? But then girl would come back and then tell people how them a freak and how them a do all kind of sudden. So is one girl talking about it that gets another girl involved and then boom bam people in body. So I feel like it's just like if you check it right now, I'm pretty sure the kids coming out right now that were way more sexually active than we were at their age.
Right.
Like it just in the culture now, they're just talking about that's all they talk about on social media and everything.
Like you believe some of your thoughts. So like if you had thoughts of like, you know, you don't go through eating wife, you don't go through, you know what I mean, the mother don't go through a suck the dick and so forth, right? And now I have child, right? I have one youth, you know, a youth man. Now he come now, if he gets some of the memory of sucking wife and so forth.
Khalid, gross, no.
So like he wears up with this, you know what I mean, persona that, yeah, you know. Because for me parents, you know what I mean, me know about the old man, but the old lady, you know what I mean, she never know about them. We then just call it, she never know about fellatio, and then someday, you know what I mean. And
you can't be a thing man, because the Jamaicans used to sing about on heavy. Then if they do that, one brave man decide to try and say, hey, I'm onto something.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, some romantic guy kiss up she hand all the way down she thighs. He said, let me just kiss this and see what going on. And she, ooh. And the man said, hey, I'm onto something, you know. I tell you for your friends. And he, you know, he probably just seep out. And you know, they used to have a thing that them say church people can only have sex in one position. And the missionary, you can't go explore nothing else, you know. So maybe people just have a whole thing that they stick to.
Yo, let me ask you a question. What you know what sodomy is?
Ass play.
Okay, I want you to Google sodomy and tell me where you see SODOMY.
Right.
I can tell you what it means, but I actually want to have to go and Google it myself so I can actually see.
Sexual intercourse involving anal or oral.
Yeah, that it. Hear the last one, the oral. So, you know, a lot. Remember the Bible talk about Sodom and Gomorrah. A lot of people think that Sodom and Gomorrah was, you know what I mean, Batman do Batman things. But it also say, the definition of it say oral as well. So that means all
a long time there, some they go on.
No, me not talk about that. Me talk about all
you seen?
Who no, wait, they get it twisted. All who a suck and a geek oral. All
Sodomites.
Like I'm trying to say?
So I'm going to put my dick in my body then.
I'm not getting that with you, my brother.
Nah, it's interesting. Sodom and Gomorrah was a pretty interesting time, dog. Imagine a whole...
Remember, this one he says, traditionally, sodomy has been referred to as a crime against nature. That's what.
You see, but I feel like Okay, one of the things that is interesting about back in the day, Bible day, I feel like back in the day, they didn't know about like the health and stuff that we know today. Not to say that it's obsolete and God didn't know what he was talking about in the future, right? Probably still have his reasons. But like when he told us not to eat unclean food, it's because nobody knew about salmonella poisoning and all them other bacteria. But today we know, right? Not to say that we need to go eat unclean food now because we know the harms and stuff. But like you don't think there was a health reason for him to be telling people not to do certain things? And like even if we know better now, it's still the same health reasons. You know what I mean? So what if you're telling people like, hey, look, now don't do sodomy because like gonorrhea, you know, shit can get in your face. Like, yeah, just keep Mr. Cancer in the throat.
Yeah.
Wherever it is, but you just like keep all that on the look because like y'all don't have the infrastructure to like sort y'all self out if shit goes south. Just imagine everybody across the country putting it in the ass, in the vagina, in the throat. The people just dead from sickness. And they had a lot of sickness back in the day. They had plagues and shit. So I feel like it was just like, it's for the time, but it could still be used in our time. Because back then they were using bloody rags when they were on the period. You think anybody can know about like not eating the vagina when it's bloody and then they suck up marrow as a bone?
True.
Yeah. So it could just be a health thing to stop people from doing stuff.
Okay.
And just imagine.
I mean, most things were, and also because not only health, I don't think health reason as well. Some of the pagan nations and them were doing a lot of weird ass shit, and the children of Israel basically wanted their own identity. So a lot of the things were to just preserve their identity. That's how I also see it as well. Okay, because let me kind of explain them some more. Like, okay, look for Antigua. Antigua really don't have an identity. Antiguans can basically survive amongst anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas Jamaicans, you know, Jamaica have, you can tell on Jamaican. You can say, oh, that man there in Jamaica. You know what I mean?
They walk with Jamaican everywhere.
You check. So that in that sense, they so a lot of the practice, so because you know, okay, like for instance, a lot of the practices Jamaicans have, you can know it's Jamaica they're from and that kind of stuff. So what I was saying in regards to certain lifestyle practices and so that the Israelites and so adopted, it was to preserve their own identity. Not so, like for instance, like look on the Bible used to say about getting tattoos and those kind of stuff. I mean, the pagan people and so used to do them. You know what I mean? And they were the Israelites were supposed to be God's special people, so they were supposed to have an identity of their own.
Check.
So yeah.
So you tell cut out their foreskin to stand out. Like, yo, that's wild. You know how wild that is? Hey, where you from? Jerusalem. Are you really a Jew? Yeah. How can I tell? Pull on your pants.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Mark could have said, just cut a piece of your ear out. The man said, nah, get rid of that foreskin.
That's one of the things.
And that's why, okay.
Yeah, but it's interesting, man. He
Link
just
with it
realized
to the
something.
Right?
He just
Bring it
realized
to the
something. No. You're talking about the Jew thing I just said, right?
Yeah, because one time I go on store and the man I tell me, old lady, you know what I mean, my name come from way back, you know what I mean. Them meaning great and powerful than Israelite name. And then you just talk about the foreskin part and I just say, oh, circumcision. Okay, yeah.
Bro, imagine how much sex have to be in the city for it to be called Sodom. I guess actually no, they actually created the word for themselves. Them man's turned this city into a definition, dog.
Yo, up right now, up America is Sodom.
Well, you better come out.
Like,
but you know, while that is dog, the story of Sodom and Gomorrah now, God sent a prophet there to go preach the word, right? And the man's pull up, his wife, and his two daughters. His daughters, they must have been models. Cause the moment they step into Sodom, everybody's like, ooh, fresh meat. Look at them girls. Mommy look nice, daddy look nice. Them daughters to die for. Right? And they gonna pull up in the house and, you know, he probably going upstairs telling his daughters to stay inside. Man's at the window flirting, all kind of stuff every day. Wife getting flowers and chicken, you know, daughters getting sweetie and wine, right? And he out there preaching God's word saying, listen, God gonna turn y'all into salt. He gonna kill all you if I to stop, you know, put dick in the body and throat, right? And people just like, listen, I'm not telling you to not eat your meat, no. So don't tell us what to do. Right, so the man's like, I bet. Right, so God's like, yo, don't stop preaching. Tell them well, go on, because I can really kill all them, right? But the man's like, yo, I'm trying. So God said, you know, I can send on 2 ambassadors. So God gonna send 2 angels to come pull up on them. No, these angels probably looking like, what am I name? Aegis Alba and some other handsome white man, right? Pull up, tall, everything, and walk in. And that man's like, oh shit, who them 2 handsome dudes now walking into a city to go talk to them girls that also look drop dead gorgeous? Nah, we can't have new man getting new food, and I gotta get the new food yet, right? So all them man's flocking around the house because this shit can't happen, right? So now the prophet who's supposed to be preaching came and said, oh shit, these must be the angels that Jesus sent to come help me out, right? And them man's out, they say, yo, send them man out. Them man's looking good, right? And then the man, he was just like, real quick, y'all can get these, because these are literally celestial beings sent by God. And the man's like, I don't want to hear it, just send them out, they got good ass, right? And the man's like, listen, how about the daughters that I have that y'all been watching for a time, y'all can have them. The daughters, they're probably in there like, what the hell? Me and you and God didn't have no conversation. Where you gonna send me out to the wolves to save these strangers? So it's funny how the angels didn't even send on to that. They just let the whole thing happen. Anyways, he didn't send the daughters out, they didn't go out, by the way. That was just a warning. So them mans really didn't want nothing to do, so they started ripping through the doors to try to get these people out. And then, you know, they came and said, like, God is actually going to burn on this place in like a couple minutes. Y'all need to leave. Y'all time is up. So then they start leaving. The angel said, don't look back because we have shit to do over here. We're going to put in work. So they probably shooting off their salt guns, shooting up everybody in the city, turning everybody to salt. And then the prophet wife, unbeknownst to everybody else, she was actually cheating on her husband because she looked back. She must remember a piece of dick that she got for the chicken. So she was like, oh no, Steve, I'm never gonna see him. Bam, the angel shot she in she head, turned into salt. No,
But
this man holding on to his wife and no. And the man was like, oh no. He just crumbled away in his hand. So he already know what just happened, but he can't look back to see his dying wife. So he probably crying salt. And his daughters and them survived because I bet they were standing behind their mom, so they saw exactly when she turned into salt. I bet. That's the story.
but you can't imagine that. What me you support? My last more chance.
The man trying to give up his daughters.
No, like, you can't imagine, yo, you go up on a plane and then say, yo, Antigua go blow up. God forbid, Antigua go blow up. You not go on look for see what going?
Right? Like, how is he gonna turn it into salt? Is it a big beam of light? And it's just gonna just burst into salt? Is the angels doing their work? Like, how? You know how sick of a story that could be? You know, if you tell somebody a whole city mashup, how? I didn't see, but I was there. Nobody could believe you. They can have the proof, but they're not gonna believe you.
Tells you.
And you know what's funny, Khalid? Sodom and Gomorrah is actually a place in wherever else in the east, and it's like a place where they still have salt. It's just salt on the ground, so it's like a salty area, but the salt don't have no. It's like salt crystals, but they don't have no taste.
No taste, right?
Yeah, and that's crazy because like there's a text in the Bible saying that people gonna walk all over them and they're gonna lose their flavor. And I'm like, whoa, that's kind of deep.
Imagine how much generations them they go through.
And there's still a salt field just out there.
Let me tell you.
Wild.
So, yo, you ever think, you know, that they put me in mind for do now? Pour some salt on the ground and just walk on them every day.
And see if you lose this flavor.
Yeah, that's my trainer walking and shit. Cause like, yo, you can't imagine that they out in the weather. Get wet, get dry. Get wet, get dry. People walk all over. And it just lose the flavor. Cause the sun evaporates salted water.
Maybe in the desert, man, so no rain really come.
A funny thing, boy, a funny.
See, that's the reason why I really want to go heaven now. Because I want to sit down and just ask God, like, real quick, I want to see how it all began leading up to this current point. I just want to sit down and watch the show of life, like how he was watching it. You know, I just want, like, I have all eternity to literally just watch every single person live, die throughout the generations until I was born, until I went to heaven. I want to see it all. Or up until his second coming, because I feel like I might die. So up until the second coming, like, I just want to watch the whole thing and just see, like, all the mistakes, all the civilizations that came up and fell, all the people, way of thinking, how, you know, what was the pinnacle of human existence, you know. I want to see it all. And that would have been like the biggest thing for me. Like everybody is gonna be traveling different worlds and so. And I feel like, yeah, I can have time to do all that, but that would be the one thing I'd want to see. Because, like, what did human beings accomplish after being alive for so many years? You know what I mean? Like, what was the purpose? Because a lot of people say, like, what is the purpose of human beings? Is it to die? Like, you have to find purpose throughout your life, right? But, like, how? How you know when you find your purpose? So, like, I want to know, like, what's their purpose? Because a ton of people dead and they even know what their purpose. They're just part of the machine, just doing what they can to eat.
Right.
Yeah.
And because some of them grew up knowing to do this, that's what they continue to do throughout the rest of their life.
Hey, want me to tell you one of the things that I really want to like figure out too, because like God said, right, that there's like a veil on our eyes. So in the second come, he's just gonna remove the veil and we're gonna see into the heavens and stuff, right? So in my head, I'm thinking, when you say remove the scales or the veil over our eyes, it's like we'll be able to see the celestials or the unseen, right? So we can see like angels and demons and stuff like that, right? My thing is, if they're all around us as we speak, or angels guiding us, and the evil people probably like trying to bargain to, like, you know, get a chance to harass our lives and stuff like that, you know, how real are just spirits in total? Because I listened to a podcast the other day and it has some white guys, Cole and Colby or something. No, Sam and Cole. And them mans actually go out looking for ghosts. And they were talking about a whole bunch of experiences where they meet possessed objects and actually go into haunted houses with demons and so. Like, I remember in Pathfinder I had to read the Ellen G. White book and they were talking about knocking. So like when you go to stuff and you start asking questions, or you know, actually seeking out evil spirits and so, you're not supposed to communicate with them at all. Like, don't have no kind of, because you're just inviting them, really. So these guys were in this room and they heard the door slam and they're like, are we alone? And then they heard something knock. So the man's like, maybe somebody here. So they asked more questions and you know, they hear a knock again, but it wasn't coming from the same place. Sometimes it's under them, above them, to the walls, it's just all over. So then they said maybe something is here but we can't see it, right? So they start talking to it and say like, okay, if you're here, give 2 raps. If you know, if whatever. So they get in the rap, so they're having a whole communication. So they're asking yes or no question based on raps. If it's a yes, 1. If it's a no, 2. Whatever, right? So they're telling a story, and one of the guys there must have been a church guy. And while they're there, they ask a question. Is heaven real? Yes or no? And the knocks came back as a no. And then they just feel real cold. And then the guy from church was just like, yo, this is not no spirit, it's like a demon. We need to stop talking to them. But then them man say they went back again, but they just didn't walk with the church guy because his church belief was messing up what they were trying to look for, find answers. So them man's go around the whole country on YouTube looking for haunted houses, trying to communicate with the spirits. And in my head, I'm just like, a man with no belief will just get himself into problem, boy.
Because he just curious, he didn't know it to stop.
And the thing is, them mans, they don't believe, but they believe, which is wild. Because they don't believe that there's an afterlife or there's a, you know, demons and spirits and so. But they now believe that the soul can linger and all kind of stuff. And they don't know how to prove it, but there's clearly a connection. The man say they have this doll, a Robert doll or something, in a museum. And people are able to come to these like haunted museums to go check out all kind of, you know, haunted objects and so. And the one that they have 2 dolls, the most possessed object in the world. And it's based, Chucky and Annabelle is based off of them, right? The first one, the most demonic one, I guess you could say, it says that you can't take a picture of it or be mean or do anything in its presence because then he'll curse you or whatever. So them man's got an opportunity to see it, and them mans know that they're not supposed to take a picture, but they went in it with the intention of taking a picture. But he said the moment that he got within the room, he just got pale and sick and cold, and he just threw up and you just start throwing up. And I'm like, I would hear demons and go search, and I would believe that them things exist, but can't believe God exists. And I'm just like, who in their right mind say, something unseen is happening, is a strange phenomenon, let me just go dive in more. Like, I understand discovery and all kind of stuff, but like, that's a realm that you can't even begin to fathom.
But why you just so fascinated with seeking out evil?
Because, bro, they don't have no foundation. They don't believe in God. They don't think it's God. They're atheists. All they believe is there's something and they want to figure out what it is.
Hope this is another reason why you want to travel now. I
Talk.
want to show you good now.
Bro, I do not mess with the supernatural.
Right. You know what I mean?
Sorry,
Sometimes I still like even sometimes I did this out there, like we were in here, right? And you hear some weird fucking noises at night time. And you're like, yo, where the noises are coming from? Like one night
House
we
the says
hear,
the man.
you know what I mean? One night we hear ding and we say stop. You know what I mean?
Nah.
Who a dog now?
Oh, sorry, me. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I was talking all the time. I'm a mic off.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
What me say?
We didn't want to come with your mic now, but go ahead.
What me say? Come in go to the bathroom. I love to hear when people are pissed. I love people hear when me pissed. So,
Sorry,
me been want to go to the haunted house. There's Newfield now, by Danley and them.
Yeah.
Me always want to gather one group of friends and go up there and see what I go on. Check.
Go up there, man.
Pass me there come. I would joke, yeah.
I think me and you they talk about going up there one time. A long time ago. But remember, the man say the priest for St. Philip Church go up there one time now. Khalid, you ever hear that?
Go ahead with your story.
The man say the man go up there and the man high holy water and the man a throw and the man a sprinkly oil and whatever. And they say when the man see what he not supposed to see, the man run left the water up there now. So after that, me just change from my mind. I mean, bad want to go back up there.
Well, me, Timon and John go up there time. But what me fascinating is that every door, every window have an unlock. Except for the one attic or one little window right at the top, like a chimney window. Right at the top. That's the only one. I think Timon may try attempt to try go up there or something.
So that mean I didn't they talk to them. Cause I do remember that talking that I do go up. Cause I think either you, maybe you, because I more believe me to see you than Timon. So remember I do talk to one of you and tell I boy I want to go up there, whatever. And then you tell me that story that you guys did go up there, but you never tell me about the place being locked up and ray.
Yeah, man. Everywhere you have on shackles.
Yeah, man. Wherever in the day, have a tap in it.
Remember from home and I said when he pass you and so walk go St. Philip and Freetown and so he'd have see like a light go on the house and then nobody live up there. Some say, what if it's people's thoughts and intentions that help give things form?
Life.
Yeah.
Me believe that has some truth to it, but not fully.
Not
but
fully,
believe there's some
but
truth.
something. Yeah.
Because for instance, let's take whatever okay, question. You watch anime? You watch Chainsaw Man?
Yeah, and Jujutsu Kaisen, let me say.
Okay, I will talk about Chainsaw Man now.
Okay.
So with Chainsaw Man, they have the gun devil, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the logic behind Chainsaw Man is if you basically give a thought to something, if you start afraid something, it would basically become somewhat of a demon or some shit like that, right? So they say because people are, because almost everybody is afraid of guns, that's why the gun devil is basically the most powerful devil.
Because that's what people fear right now.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna believe that's how we work really and truly in the real world. I mean, it's all speculation, yes, but I believe that it also has some truth to it because it's like, okay, if me make up some kind of ghost or whatever, right? Let's say me just make up one out of the thin air, me just make up one. Now, most likely that ghost didn't have no power, that whatever, not no power, right? But then me start tell the story to 1 million people and 1 million people believe, right?
I believe.
Then me I personally believe that they're demons, although I believe in ghosts.
Yes. That's what I was thinking too. Because they listening, they hearing, and they say, all right, this thing is popular. Let's use that form.
Yeah. I do believe that there's demons and they do have power to do certain things, you know what I mean? And they take on different shapes and forms and whatever. Just like some people say they see Sukana, some people see Jobless and all that kind of Sunday. I do believe demons take on certain forms based upon the energy that people give off, Like people that give off fear and so because and before one thing the Bible says, the Bible say that fear no come from God. The check me try to say there's no fear in God. So the fact that are we as human beings are fear and that didn't come from God, I mean that it come from the devil. So are we a power to the devil when are we afraid? Check.
Right.
So I believe he channeled that in a certain way.
I want to say it was interesting too because nobody ever really questioned it, no. But people do see angels. You check?
I agree.
And whenever somebody mention angels, they're always taking on the form of somebody who's tall or whatever. But they never try to come in as somebody that you know because that's kind of like deceit. You know what I mean?
True.
So they always come as somebody, but somebody tall or ambiguous or something. So you're like, this person stand out, they catch my attention, whatever. But nobody ever talk about like they can change shape because angels and demons are the same coin. It's just that one them disobedient and the other one obedient. So
Fair
all
fair
the
enough.
things that angels can do, demons can do, but demons just have an evil malice to it because now they're petty, trying to get back at God and His creations.
Fair enough. I agree.
Because I would say, at time I was asking my dad, I'm like, okay, devils, like the demons, so they can possess people, and a number of them can enter into your body until they call themselves a legion. Can't angels possess people? And he's like, nah. I was like, why? Because then that's taking away your freedom of choice. And God gave us freedom of choice, so they'll be going against God, so they can't possess. So Satan already sinning. So since he done down one, but she down 100. You know what I mean? A sin is a sin, however big or small it is. Like they know they're not getting back in heaven. They know they're just waiting for punishment. So they can just keep doing more crimes. Like if somebody send you to jail for murder or rape, and you know you never do it, but you pay the time, your life done. Might as well become a criminal.
But I think could be wrong. Lord forgive me if I'm wrong. But how I look at the situation, right? You see, like how you say, like they know they're wrong and then just wait for whatever. That is the case, right? But I don't think it's a situation whereas they're wrong and they can't go to God and ask for forgiveness. I think the situation with them is that they're wrong and strong, basically. So they don't want to go and ask for forgiveness, and that's their problem. Because for instance, look on with Abel and Cain, right?
Yeah.
It's not that Cain, when God tell Cain, you'll be a fugitive and a vagabond, you check, and you'll be basically wandering the earth for the rest of eternity or whatever. And now that Cain couldn't say, Lord, forgive me, you check me try to say, Cain choose that he no want to ask God for forgiveness because God could have forgiven him. Like, what would you say would be the biggest of biggest sins? Check me try to say, the biggest of biggest sins is turning your back on the Holy Spirit. You check?
I was gonna say disobedience, but that makes sense.
Denying the Holy Spirit, yeah.
Because Jesus said, if you sin against me, it can be forgiven. If you sin against the Father, it can be forgiven. But if you sin against the Holy Spirit, that won't be. Because the Holy Spirit is what move persons to turn their heart to the Lord. So if you say, hey, Holy Spirit, I don't want you over here. Check me try to say, the Holy Spirit now go force himself on you or whatever. So I think it's the same thing. Personally, I think that is what the devil and them do. Because if God go up on the cross and dead for humanity, me personally, me not think God. Okay, I'm not think God dead for humanity alone. What I'm saying is
for all his living creatures.
That is what I'm saying. If God's sacrifice, the Lord's sacrifice was so great that it could basically pay for all of Satan's disobedience or whatever. You know what I mean?
Okay.
If I'm wrong,
let me argue that.
Go ahead.
All right. Okay, so I'm thinking, right, when God and Lucifer was in heaven, Lucifer was like, hey, why not I be God? Like, God doing God stuff, but I think I can be God. And he was getting full of himself because they say he was the most handsomest or prettiest angel next to God or something. So, he's God right-hand man. So he got full of himself and started getting whatever, right? He had a lot of opportunities to ask God for forgiveness because God knew and gave him an opportunity, and God was like, hey, yo, I know what you're up to, just chill. And the man's like, I don't know what you're talking about, dog. And then he go and convince some angels saying like, God moving nowadays. And they just like, I see it. And then God said, bro, stop. And the devil said, I ain't doing shit. Then he go, because he walked with a third of the angels. So the man was doing missionary work, right? Not a third, a quarter of the angels.
A third.
Okay,
One third.
One third, yeah. So he did do work and he convinced a third of the angels. A third, dog, that's a whole bunch. Like a couple more, he could start a coup. God have to make a second heaven. But yeah, God just like, all right, I see you actually really out here trying to get it, and I gave you time to repent, and nah, I'm kicking you out. I'm not gonna kill you, cause you know I'm merciful, but I'm gonna let you know this is your punishment. You can't come back into heaven ever. No, I'm assuming God made a whole bunch of worlds out there, different worlds that Satan could have gone to. So when he got cast out,
I don't want to cut you off too much, but me think that he may still have access to heaven. But I'm gonna explain my point later on. But continue.
okay. So I think after Lucifer got kicked out of heaven and he rebranded and called himself Satan. Actually maybe he didn't rebrand until he got to Earth, but I think he was traveling to other worlds and just trying to push his influence. You check, but everybody already knew. They already got the news. Except Adam and Eve. Or maybe they didn't get the news, but they were on the same test that he was trying to do to everybody. So you'll come and tell them, like, listen, I know God probably gave all y'all a test not to eat from this tree, but it's not gonna surely kill you. And everybody was just like, okay, cool, but I don't want it because God said. And then when he got to Earth, Adam and Eve were the only one that gave in. And then they gave up their right from being the rulers, the kings and queens of Earth, and gave that position up to Satan. So he rebranded and called himself the prince of this world, because now he's the ruler. He's not the king because God is, but no, he's the prince, right? And yeah, he just couldn't get back into heaven. So I feel like it's within that realm is where he was for forgiveness. So God came down now knowing that he let this loose on the world and he knows all things, so he probably just giving us a chance, and he died for us, but not so much for him, because it's just like he's a merciful God, yes, but he's not a fully God. He can't just let disrespect happen all the time, because we remember in the the New Testament, it's the Old Testament, when mans was touching the ark and so, and he said, hey, don't touch it for nobody, and they had the ark on the ox, and he almost fell down, and the man tried to hold it to stop it from falling, and he died when he didn't even touch it. He was trying to touch it from stop it from falling, and he died. God's word is law. If I say one thing and you try to do it, even if it was for the right reason, pay the consequences. So I feel like he's merciful, but he have to enforce his punishment. Is they say like go ahead.
Go ahead, finish.
So like they say like in the second coming it's gonna be like a probational period, and then after that Jesus not taking no more, I'm sorry, forgive me of my sins. So he's gonna like close the altar. So like when people pray, all the prayers go to the most holy place in heaven. That's where God receives your prayers and whatnot. When he's coming out to heaven, he have to close up shop and then get on his chariot with his angels and come. So the store goes shut as he's coming towards earth to come get us. So when all of us praying, it could be for a couple of years, we just praying to God, asking for forgiveness, but probation period already over. None of our sins getting forgiven no more. He gave us 2 more chances. So just like how the angels had chance and then they didn't, probation period is you had your chance all these years. The message has went around the whole world. Everybody know about Christianity, the 10 commandments, the second coming. Everybody has the truth. Y'all have access. Y'all heard about me. Y'all don't have no more excuse no more. We coming. So I feel like everybody else now who had the information but just didn't want it, them and the angels gonna die. So when you pull up and take off the veil, y'all gonna see all the fallen angels, and y'all gonna be like, oh, so these are the guys pulling the strings, and none of y'all going to heaven, you know? So that's what I believe.
Fair enough. I do believe, as you say, as you said, like there comes out, like we're in probation, when it talks about probation period, and you know, it has a cutoff time when it comes like, yo, there's no more forgiveness, because you know, I do believe all that as well. But what I'm saying is, let's say, okay, because we don't know when the angels would have had their probation period, okay? Because when the Bible talk about that war broke out in heaven and Michael and his angels fought against the devil and his angels and all that kind of stuff, no, the Bible never said when how many angels would have sided or sympathized with the devil and went back on God's side.
They never talk about it.
It only say how much of them left with you and so. But I personally believe that he had sympathizers, you know. There were some person that believe, yo, he wasn't really bad. You know, he was only, you know what I mean, maybe talking up for his rights. You know what I mean? Like, you know, in our company, let's say a company setting, somebody do something wrong. You always have somebody that turn up for them and say, you know, give the man a chance. No, you know what I mean? You can't so hard.
Yeah,
You know?
because they probably had freedom of choice too. You know what I mean?
Yes. So with that being said, and remember, they didn't know what sin was.
Yeah,
Check, I mean,
nobody
check.
did.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, nobody did.
Yeah, so they didn't have any knowledge of what sin was. So when they saw him acting out, they probably didn't know what it was. And siding with him probably caused them to sin too. So then the question could have been asked, okay, how did the Lord deal with that? You know what I mean?
I have to fall back on that. I take it back with the whole they didn't know what sin was. Because I want to believe that they did. Because the emotions and the thought process that Lucifer created.
Wait. How about this? Okay, I don't want to finish your point, but how about this?
Yeah.
Right? We grew up, all of us grew up in a one sinful world, right? We do not know or understand what perfection is.
True.
As much as we think we understand it, we do not. Adam grew up in a world, right? Adam didn't see flowers or leaves falling off the trees, right? Adam didn't see anything dying, because remember, sin is what causes something to die. When you see a leaf fall off on a tree, because the sun are dead and go, you know what I mean, spring back up or whatever. But Adam never experienced one leaf falling off on a tree. You check? So with that being said, Adam probably, like Adam, the angels and them used to come to Adam and tell Adam, yo, be on the lookout for Lucifer and Ray and whatever, and make he deceive you. Like, they did tell him that, they did warn him, God did spoke to him and them kind of stuff, they check. But even though he had an idea as to what it might have been, he still never know he be, because he never experienced death. He never experienced none of that stuff. Remember, killing and then kind of Sunday happened after sin. So even though you might have like one idea as to where he be, he never experienced them. Whereas in our case, we grew up in this world, so we accustomed to all the evil and whatever, you know?
I might have to make my dad's episode public on Spotify, because I actually had that same conversation, because I'm just like, Adam and Eve really didn't stand a chance, because they really didn't know what they were up against. If you say surely die, what death even mean? They have no concept of death. So it's like, as a punishment or a deterrent, it meant nothing. It's like if I said, yeah, you will surely have a lot of money, when the concept of money didn't even exist.
Just realize the simplest thing the Lord give them, just eat from the tree. If you eat from the tree, there where your problem will go.
But Khalid,
you know?
let's say they were living on the planet for about 100 years, right? And God gave them dominion over all the animals, so they get to name all the animals in existence. And then out of nowhere, God update the simulator, and you see a talking snake. Never seen it in all the years on the earth, and then one just appear. You won't think some of the rules change? Another snake talking to you. No other animal probably eating under that tree, talking under that tree, you know? And all of a sudden, this snake is literally on that tree. They probably walk across that tree like every day, not even paying it a second thought. And all of a sudden, all he hears, right? And they catch your attention, and I was like, what, the tree talking, and you see the snake slithering. And back then, the snake had legs and wings. You check? So they were little dragons. And you see this thing literally flying and dancing, tap dancing and slithering and doing all kind of stuff, and saying, come here real quick now. You're like, yeah, I'm not supposed to be over there. It's like, really? So why am I over here? And she's like, alright, good point. And then he pull up and, you know, start talking to this and like, yo, taste this fruit, bro. Because I've been eating all the fruits out here in this whole planet. Like, taste this. And she's like, you're not supposed to have it.
You believe Satan tastes on?
Well, yeah, because he's not like if... Go ahead.
No, I think he tasted it.
Yeah, because to him...
What do you think?
Yeah, I think he tasted it, because like, how you gonna convince them to eat it if you don't eat it? I'm not gonna trust nobody who just say, hey, try this. How about you try it?
I believe that they enhance your powers more.
Nah.
Okay, for me, I understand. Okay, you might think that way, but for me, me not think so. Because there was nothing necessarily special about the tree.
I don't think so.
It was just that tree was what the test was on. You know what I mean? It's just like he could have put it on or apple tree. You know what I mean? It was just that the test was on that.
Yeah, and I think the test was obedience. So the moment that they disobeyed is when everything clicked, because now they're mortal. You remember they were wearing clothes of light. You check, so the moment that come off, they felt the nakedness. They saw the world for what it really was, and they realized that now they're mortal. So they like the curiosity kick in. What this mean? Why that happening? This year leaf drop. I've never seen it in my life. They're going through a midlife crisis because everything now they're now thinking.
It's like when I say after you come your senses, well, little incident. You know what I mean? But what I was gonna say, I remember Ellen White who had wrote and said, you know what I mean, when Adam saw a leaf fall off of the tree after he had sinned, you know, he cried, you know what I mean? And I mean, me not really understand that because I mean, as I tell you, you know, leaf fall off a tree all the time and like we're desensitized to killing and then kind of stuff. So to are we nothing. But to he who a first experience, he lose, he pick me, you know what I mean? Then when he pick me and them are outcast, you know what I mean? Like Ireland Sunday, you have to go through. Like the Ireland Sunday new to he. You check me ever say? So Khalid had said something, but no, I remember we say, but me want to come in for him. So Khalid, do you remember what you had said?
But we feel enhance Satan.
Oh, not only that though, but I can't remember what else he said though. But what I was gonna say was, when you read the Bible say that let no man add to these words or take away from these words and stuff like that. You check. One of the thing, like when we read the story of Genesis, like the Lord tell Adam, yo, differently, eat from the tree. You check. I may try to say, because the day for you eat from the tree, you surely
You
die.
surely die.
And I believe that maybe the Lord probably tell Eve as well, but the Bible never said that he tell Eve. So let's say that Adam
That's why
was
he
the one
chose
that,
Eve as the mark. Cause she didn't,
well,
maybe she didn't
I don't
get
really,
it from God specifically, but Adam had to tell her.
but that's what I'm saying. I don't really know, but let's say Adam went and tells you, yo, the man say, nyamom, and yo, they even go close to him. Yo, just steer him apart. Like, I mean, kind of, if, like, let's say a mother tell her son, you got Adam, you know what I mean? So the Lord tell you, you're not supposed to eat from none she call in the garden. So, say, what do you mean I'm not supposed to eat from none of the tree in them? I eat from any tree in the garden except the one in the midst of the garden. I'm not supposed to even eat it, nor touch. Now, mind you, the Lord never tell Adam he couldn't touch him. The Lord only tell Adam, you're not supposed to nyam him.
Eat it.
So now there is the devil a hold on from the sudden. And I say, this year the Lord say you're not supposed to touch. You're crazy. And then he nyam him. He said, but look, you see me nyam him and not nam to me. And nyam him, man. So then she say, okay, but he touch him and not nam to you. Which I can make sure to say, and look, you see nyam him and not nam to you. Our best me nyam him too. And she nyam him, right? And then when she nyam him, the Bible say she yum to she husband.
Yeah,
And
cause she realized and got scared and gave it.
so the how they explain them, right? I remember they were giving this explanation. They check. Adam knew what was going on.
Yeah, that's
Like
what
he
I
was
say.
clueless. And I remember they were talking about a similar story with Abraham, but I don't really want to get into that story today. But they were saying that the same Hebrew word used in the story of Genesis for describe Adam, like how he knew exactly what was going on. The same thing for Abraham too. And you know, Abraham do a lot of shit as well. But and then they say after that, their eyes were open and they realized that they were naked. And you can tell that they knew that they lost something because they went and covered themselves. They try to make sure and now that them cover themselves because them literally naked, well, more or less. But
they
the
lost
Bible,
the protection from God, the spiritual protection or whatever.
yeah, and the Bible said that God is light and whatever, and what I mean, I believe that they were clothed in, I guess, robes of light or something, and they lost that sense of identity, so they lost that sense of light, what I mean, that sense of purity that they had,
Look, it's not Adam's fault, dog. Because when Eve came around the corner, no planning to deceive her husband, she pull up with she nakedness, a show her bobby and vagina. And this man never noticed them before because they're behind a veil of light.
No, he never,
But Justin they say Adam knew what was going on.
Oh yeah, no, that's what
So,
I'm saying. He knew what was going on, no. But what
so
happened is he judged me out because of the bobby and them.
So you're trying to tell me they never had sex before?
Maybe then too busy name the animals. It's his job to name all the animals. He just find a new snake.
because if they had sex before, how come no kids name come?
Cause
I
they
mean,
never.
They
are
were
you
using
saying sex is
protection.
No, not every
no?
time you have
Are
sex, you
you
get
are
somebody
you saying
pregnant.
Okay.
yeah? Are you saying sex is only for reproduction?
Yeah, Khalid.
No. No.
So that mean
But
okay. Let's say they have Cain and Abel, and then they have Seth. So that mean in a 3 years only cheating and have sex. That's crazy, Khalid. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Them mans just get created now. Them mans have fun. Them mans explore themselves. Them man probably do fellatio before he got recalled into Sodom.
Hey, I'm not getting into that. You know what I mean?
but yo, okay, so me they say and all. Yo, from the time Jesus, Jesus shouldn't make Satan live, dad.
See, but he a merciful person. Suppose you may commit one little sin. You may want that?
Well, if the Lord take me, I'm gonna have to go.
Not only that, Khalid, but
Mm.
then how much people, remember Satan had sympathizers, so much people they say, me wrong, hold,
You
me
check.
can't even talk out against the
You
boss.
check and
Or
then they
if the
got
boss gonna kill me, go for
folly
shit.
in a fear. Yeah.
You
You
check on
can't.
me try to say, and then not only fall in a fear, but then gonna have another Satan rise up again and say, boy, your boy, you just kill half the man just so. You know what I
Mm.
mean? We're gonna kill me too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Exactly. And then people will start believe
And then
because
you
what
gotta have
what
more
will happen?
against Jesus than got your 25%.
Cause think about it, Khalid. The Bible say that the Bible said that Satan wanted to be like the Most High God. He wanted to be God. God.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Mm.
mean? He wanted to
Mm-hmm.
sit down on the throne and then kind of stuff. But then, what you think he told the 1/3 of the angels for them to join his side? You ever ask yourself
Right.
that question? Eh? Like,
So
what you
they
think he
spit
tell them? Like, he
game.
had to have tell them something convincing for them. For I would talk about thousands.
Just like a politician. That's just like a politician.
Full circle.
And there we start. Right, continue.
So that may say, so he had to have told them something really convincing about the Lord for
Right?
them for believe.
And
Because
he the
remember,
right
as Tim,
hand man.
yeah, I was just about to say, as Timon was saying, he was God's, quote unquote, right hand man. You know what I mean? He was basically in the presence of God. They try to say.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So he used to go to them and tell them, yo, me sit down on the council and want to hear the nastiness, the update about no. Check me
You
try to say.
check.
When you
You
see
think the
them
Trinity easy?
yeah, when you see them a left and I go this and that place, I waiting them a go. I waiting them a go. G them a have. You know what I mean? So you never know. And the man, the angel and say, "Your boy, I chew the man attack no. I chew the man attack." And the
You
next thing
Mm-hmm.
check.
fighting broke out in the heaven, and the lad I want to fight and so the man say, you see, I fight you fight no. Fight you fight. You try cover up. You know what I mean? And the man enjoying the man's side. You know what I mean?
The man
So
probably telling that he has set the chosen angels that nobody know about favorites. Now y'all not even privy to meet them, but since he on the council, he met them. You know,
kind of something.
yeah, all kind of stuff, man. I say, wow.
So yeah, man. So I'm thinking, boy, what could he have really said to them to convince them? So honestly, sometimes when I feel tempted, well, I can't say so now, because right now, when I'm tempted nowadays, I just give in. But back in the day, when me more spiritual,
Mm.
I used to get tempted. I say, yo, imagine I the dog, I you try tempt me, right? And I you follow a man that don't lose. Check me try to say. I say,
That, bro, I know. I keep be thinking like that. Like, yo, you're already losing. Why y'all still following this man? Like, go do your own thing, wrong and strong.
dang. Remember the Bible even say no. When the new Jerusalem are come down, right?
They gonna try get in.
And God has set up the earth and them kind of thing. The Bible say at that time when they go try to capture the city and whatever, that's when the Bible talk about every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess that Jesus Christ is Lord.
Mm-hmm.
That's because when they go try to attack the city, that's when basically the Lord will basically show them life and make them realize, yo, we were wrong all the time. You know what I mean? And that's when they go confess that God is God. And the Bible say after that, the devil I got till convince them, yo, we can still capture the city. Like, bro, how friggin' wrong you can want for Peter?
He used to test God mercy because he's just like, how far I can push you before you punish me?
Yeah,
And everybody can see it.
like, bro, me done just show the people and then that they're friggin' wrong. And the people and then just admit that me are God and God alone. And you still are tell them for come attack the city. Really, dog?
And that's why it's so weird because I remember a time I was at church and my uncle was telling a story and he just like, cause okay, I kind of like a play on joke cause like everybody used to sit at the back of the church and so not come in the front and he's just like, why y'all don't come to the front? You know the devil come to church too. He knows the Bible. So while y'all behind there, he and his angels probably in the front have their wing up, stopping y'all from hearing all the the word and getting all the blessing. He just preventing y'all come to the front. So it was kind of a little funny joke, but then he kind of hit me like the devil have to know the Bible inside and out, so he can use it like a lawyer would to manipulate and use it against you. Cause they said the most potent lie is lie that's mixed with truth because
True, that's true.
yeah. Everything is a lie. You can't mix lie and truth.
True, that's exactly true. You know what I say? Because if my bark like mark and poison, you're not going to want to drink them. But if I have one that mark and Kool-Aid, but it really poison, you know what I mean? That it works. You were talking about that, right? And you know what came to my mind? A story in this is probably not relate nothing to what we talk about. But it's a story in Daniel, right? And the story was talking about how Daniel was praying and fasting, right? And Daniel was fasting for about 3 weeks. Check me ever say. And the angel came to him, and when the angel came to him, the angel said to him, yo, Daniel, as soon as you started praying, the Lord sent me to you. But the angel continued to say, but the angel of Persia or something. He was making reference to the devil, basically. But he was saying the devil basically prevented me from coming to see you. So me said to myself, my ram hole. So Daniel, who quote unquote would be more like a more faithful man than me and you. Check me, try to say, Daniel, I prayed for 3 weeks. And as soon as he started praying, the Lord sent out the angel. And the devil come and try to block the angel from giving Daniel the message or the blessing or whatever. Check me, try to say. I may say, boy, how much time you think that it happened in a for our day-to-day life?
Every time they try to come into orbit, the boy them is like, hey, not here.
It's like I try to say, because remember, he done set up and say, boy, don't you free domain, and I will belong to you know. You know what I mean? So
the angels probably sneak across the border and that kind of something.
I guess yeah. The man say, yo, no. What message you want? No. Let me see the message. Let me see what you tell you.
Where your visa?
Well, imagine that if I imagine what battles are happening on Ari the army.
Right?
No boy can imagine some man with some spear and some
I believe it's like MMA type beef for going. They got some takedown with their wings.
Well, me not even think about that now. True. Me just think about how they look.
Because like in a Revelation they talk about certain things, bro. Them things look ugly. Like I feel like, you know what it is? The same veils are over our eyes. We're not able to see things through the lens of purity. Like if you see somebody cut off the eyebrow, they look weird. They look alien to you. You know? So when God said there's an angel with like 3 heads, it's like an ox and a fish and an eagle. You're like, how would that even look good? But maybe we can't appreciate its beauty. Or there's a chariot that has
and I appreciate friggin' snake and iguana and kind of Sunday. So
yeah. So how can we even comprehend a creature that's like celestial? You know what I mean? We can't appreciate that.
But don't get me wrong, because probably if we see angels today, we describe them differently, because remember they describe them based on the knowledge that they had back in the day. So since
we have more words to describe things.
True, and not only more words, but I just know what certain things be. You know what I mean? Like if I see sun up into the sky and I say, oh, a shooting star, that it might be a satellite, it might be, you know what I mean? All kind of different sun. Like we can give a more vivid,
detailed
description.
Yeah. So me I always wonder, so boy, suppose I ever see an angel today, how are we with the describer? You know what I mean? Boy, the world fascinating, damn, I like to tell you. The known world fascinating and the unknown world fascinating.
But the unknown no one I want to dive into. Because the world too big for me to venture about that. It's like when I hear scientists going into space, I'm like, bro, how about go to the bottom of the ocean, huh? How about that?
Yo, you need even know that is the question I just about to ask. But they got asked, would you prefer to go out of space or in the deepest parts of the ocean?
In the deepest, bro. I watched a video that at the deepest parts in the ocean, there's a lake. There's a lake in the bottom of the ocean.
Khalid, which one you prefer for go?
If I'd rather go out or down, boy, me not really matter what out them, but me know a lot of riches down below.
Okay, well, me tell you straight up, me nah go down for nobody. Nobody.
Talk to me.
Damn, me fear the ocean. Me fear the ocean.
Bro, if aliens exist in the ocean, it's
I
90%.
Don't water.
Okay, I get you, but think about it like this: if we use our resources to go to the bottom of the ocean and mine and find things and do discoveries, it gonna prepare us for space travel. Cause the closer you go into the Earth's core, the denser the pressure. Cause the whole Earth's gravity gonna be on you. You know what I mean? If your ship can move freely down there, it can definitely handle the gravity in space. You check? The ocean is dark and cold like space, under bad pressure like space. And the only thing you have different is like space debris that can like bust through. You can have like a piece of stone moving through space like a needle, and you get microfraction, micro holes that could create a bigger thing. That's what you have in space. Shit that you can't see that's destroying your ship. In the ocean, you only have to deal with pressure. And if you can figure out how to traverse,
and you have to deal with Leviathan, and you have to deal with friggin' Megalodon, and you have to deal with friggin'
see, that's if those things are real. Squid. No. The giant squid might be real, but there's not plenty of them. And if they are, no, they're extinct.
Yo, me not go under no water for nobody. The
Look,
Lord say he not destroy the earth by a flood again, so I don't have to worry. Is it?
Boy, the Earth's surrounded by 70% water, right?
Mm.
Where you believe most of the answers is?
see,
Into the sky. Pan land.
nah,
But me
the
believe,
water moves so much, and the continent moves so much. Some of it's under the water.
yeah, boss, a lot of, like, yo, you know believe more land underneath the water, eh?
Actually, you know, what
Yeah,
was interesting? You
Eh?
remember?
I
Good,
believe
Justin.
more land underwater. I do.
Exactly.
You know, what was interesting? I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I feel like I did. But when they talk about the flood, right, in the Bible, and they say like the earth like open up and water spew out. Scientists, like I think it was a couple years ago, scientists were doing some like studies on like the earth, and I think they were looking over the Arctic, and they just saw this big hole moving. So it turns out that the the Arctic was like cooling, so like this big hole in the earth was just moving around. So they were kind of confused. They were trying to figure like why this big mass moving. When they check the satellites, it turns out that it's just a big hole and the ice melt or whatever, and you could see it on the satellites. So I'm thinking, what if that's some kind of plug? Because they did more research and they found out that there's a lot of water inside the earth, not just around it as the sea. There's like under the crust, under the continents,
Mm-hmm.
there's water. So I'm
Yo.
saying,
Mm-hmm.
if the caps are them frozen, and that's why water levels not rising because they are frozen. If all the caps melt, right, we gonna have less land. But if the water from inside the earth and so come out, then that's another flood. Because then, when God sent the flood, it was raining for 30 days, 30 nights. There was no land to be seen. So we have way more water on earth than land.
Right.
But some of it probably just frozen, just under, which is wild.
But also remember, back in those days, we didn't have any mountain and then kind of Sunday that we have now. You check. So you remember when the flood happened back then, and they say, the fountains of the deep were open up and them kind of Sunday and whatever. They basically started to push earth upwards and push this, that, and you know what I mean, all kind of different things.
And create the
So
plates and so on. Okay.
if another flood for happen, I don't think it can cover the entire earth because water now reach all the way up on Mount Everest and then kind of places because they're just too high.
Let me fight you on that now. I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast and Neil deGrasse Tyson or whatever was on it, and he was saying if you 3D print the Earth to what you call it, a replica but to a downscale, then if you rub your finger across the Earth, it would feel smooth. So it means like if you make like a baseball size Earth replica with all the mountains and everything, you could run your hand across the surface of the ball and not feel a divot. So the highest point on Earth in comparison to the whole world is smooth. So it looks big because of our perspective. But like if you're on the moon and you're looking out, you do not see hills. You just see surface.
Fair enough.
So then water could cover the hills in no time.
I still don't agree though. No.
But okay, with volcanoes and stuff, right? If water out fire, like think they can just shut off a volcano.
No, because pressure.
But like when it dormant, why can't I just load them up with a certain amount, one vast amount of water?
Because pressure. Because there's always gonna be. It's like in the center of a core could be a big ass diamond because of all the pressure from gravity, right? At the center of a core, and because of all the pressure is heating up, so the stuff just hot, and all the gases and so that's like building up, pushing the.
Me just send a big bomb in there now, and just blow them to hell up.
Why?
But me say he want to send one bomb inside of one hurricane or thing. And then they laugh and said that the man crazy. But me say a good idea now.
A good idea. Disrupt the high winds.
Right.
You think it work?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah.
If you have a big explosion, it'll just dissipate the air because it'll disrupt it too much. Because it's a concentration of like high and low pressure air, like hot and cold. So if you had
Suppose
this
the
big,
pop suppose the power does boost them up into a super hurricane.
Bro, you ever
God,
see
they
those
figure that.
tornadoes that catch on fire and they have flame
Mm-hmm.
tornadoes?
Yeah, I
Suppose that
told you.
happen. Just have flaming
Mm.
hurricane or some bus crash and the
So
Khalid fault.
that whole move from category 5 to about category friggin' 20. That's how destructive like
I mean, say, plant and bomb in there and blow up the volcano. Blow up the volcano. Yeah, you know what I mean? You
blow
had a volcano.
volcano. Why would you try
Yeah,
to blow up
Yeah, why?
why
The
wouldn't
volcano
you not?
trouble you?
Why wouldn't
because
you not?
volcano with all the ton of gases and so inside the day and all the ton of
Check.
this
You know
and
what can
that.
happen, Khalid? I got toxic rain. You have acid
Yeah.
rain.
But so that's what I'm say. If you want to tap a volcano, just pull them up and vast amount of water
No, no,
and
you
seal
leave
them
it.
off.
You can't
We say no,
seal.
wait. Repeat where say Khalid, because me want to understand it. Yeah, see.
Yo, me ask if you know think that there is enough water that can shut off a volcano.
No.
No, because remember they have volcanoes on the water as well. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I always want to understand how that is even possible. But they have volcanoes on the water, and remember they even have like volcano that would be spouting out on the water, and you see the lava be running on the bottom of the ocean and then kind of stuff there. And I'm like, bro, how hot that thing have to really be? You check me, Travis say so. But me not believe in blowing up no freaking volcano, dark. And me think that'll be more more harm than freaking good.
But nevertheless, yo, the other day, my volcano erupted in Haiti, Hawaii, right?
Mm.
And you know, I as people, man, I say, stupid enough, but you know, I love danger.
True. Curiosity.
You know what I mean? I
Same
just
thing with
too
me.
damn curious because
Because I
the
come,
thing,
because I come from
eh?
Eve. Because I come from Eve.
Check.
Hey,
I
me
like
tell you,
eyes.
you can't tell me a volcano erupt. You feel the heat come off of the volcano, and I till they turn up at your news.
You see, but that must be something that they kind of used to.
How,
Tell them for
You,
how about
alright.
you think people in the Montserrat really panic too hard when the volcano go off every now and again? They probably just go to the end of the island and hope no rock hit them. Or they just go to the next island and just wait till it cool down.
Because the people of Hawaii, they were running, they were evacuating, But the newsman and them, the American newsmen were just there having a ball. As you
Huh?
can see, the molten the lava is running down the highways, and and then they just they turn up.
No disrespect to our Americans, but some of them dunce, man.
some?
Let me tell you, too
Over
curious,
there,
man. That's too curious.
but
Yeah,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
probably send you. I'm gonna probably send you a video. Khalid, I see him on No Jumper the other day. This man, he send it out for cover some weather report.
Mm-hmm.
I saw one like that before, but this one I mean recent. So when they had that storm, that weather storm or whatever in New York or them around in places, they man happened and so like the place it was really cold. They had like a freak blizzard, right? They say it was one of the coolest they ever had. So when they sent it out, or what the frig it all, the man had to go out to cover it. So the news reporter was not the news reporter, the person in the studio, they will say, and Mike is out there and he's gonna have us covers. Mike, what's going on outside there? Like a daddy. So the man was like, well, I don't know why I have to be the one out here to cover the news report, but no problem. I guess somebody in the office just don't like me. But just like I said earlier, it's below freezing, and we're just out here reporting for the weather. So they say, so the woman was like, well, it seems like Mike is a bit cranky today. And then they showed the other clip when he out there again. And this was probably maybe 3 hours after the first one. So Mike was like, well, Kristen, just like I told you 3 hours ago, it's really cold and no one should be outside. So I don't know why I have to be outside reporting on the news. So, dog, I want to figure it out. So that's just Americans, dog. They're just like, then just love to see somebody outside. I really cover them so you can understand. Okay?
But you don't know he cool. You tell me, the man. Hey, boy, me tell you. Man, me feelings no shit to tell them. Somebody not like
Yeah, I'm tell you.
them there.
Guys, it was nice talking to y'all, no? But I'm off to go wash my skin and get ready for work.
Oh, okay.
Justin,
So
this man messaged me at 5:48 and tell me done their work. What can
5:40.
go
Nah, not 5. You mistake me, boss. At 6 me message you.
Okay, so
6:30.
me ahead of you.
Me know
Me
what it
behind
be,
you.
but when me get to work after 6:30.
I don't understand what you're saying. So
Me-
is it that you would get to work late, or I don't understand what's happening?
No, you know, me try to say, right? The man, when me get a message the other day, you know what I mean? The man messaged me and the message coming at 5:47. And me see the man say he done their work.
Well, maybe you're out behind me or something.
So me say 5:47. How this man you done their work so early if he had key?
Okay, what time be right now?
Right now, 11:43.
Yeah, 11:43 right now. So sum me up, cause me never get work before 6:30.
Maybe the
Well,
message don't come when he's supposed to come in.
maybe so. Me
But
think,
for some reason,
mm.
matter what, I'm gonna know why, but I always had a problem. Ever since I start work, whatever job I have, I always late. But no, I just no know why. I'm late for church. I'm late for everything. You check what me trying to say? And sometimes I feel really bad about it, but I just no know. I just can't. It's just the habit just in me. Check what me
Yeah.
trying to say? And my parents are never late. My brother never late. Somebody know why me just had this habit. You know what I mean?
Well, we make sure me extra early. What I say, if you're on time, you're late. So I make sure I always early. Like sometimes I have an interview. Like when I got an interview and so, I leave my house a whole hour before that interview. So I sit down there for half an hour when I get there, just waiting. I have to be early because I don't want nobody wait on me.
Well, now we go. You know we go. Let me just laugh at that. You know we go.
Yeah, man. I take care of yourself.
Yeah, man. Blessings, G.
All the best.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, man.
Holly, buddy, buddy.
Holly, buddy, buddy.